primaire de Stratford. Nous sommes très excités d'être en finale. Nous avons beaucoup étudié et nous sommes prêts. Je m'appelle Conway et voici le reste du groupe.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Finlay.
Bonjour, je suis Aaron.
Bonjour, je suis Zoé.
Je suis en substitut. Je m'appelle Archie.
Je suis substitut. Je m'appelle Noah.
Bonjour!
Bonjour!
Olá, meu nome é Xavier. Eu vivo em Newton Hill e eu tenho 11 anos. Eu gosto de pinguins e chocolate.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Safe, j'habite Newton Hill. J'aime chocolat.
Me llamo Robert, tienes 10 años. Me gusta rugby.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Xavier. J'habite à Newton Hill. J'aime les pingouins et ski. Hola, me llamo Neve. Tengo 10 años. Me gusta chocolate y azúcar.
Amelie, Asmi Safe.
Salut, je m'appelle Robert. J'ai 10 ans.
Au revoir, adeus.
Au revoir.
Adios.
Adios.
Hello.
Salut, je m'appelle Matthew Scotland. J'ai 11 ans. J'habite dans Buntyland. Je suis 6e à Buntyland Primary School. Mon professeur, Madame Patterson, est très gentille. Je suis une grande fan des statistiques de football à l'RBPS.
Salut, mon nom est Trudy Monroe. J'ai 11 ans et je vis à Burnt Island à Fife, Écosse. Certaines de mes choses préférées comprennent véhicules, avions, voitures, bateaux, trains, armées, capitales, Europe et l'histoire. Au revoir.
Dzień dobry, ja nazywam się Bella Scott i mam 10 lat. Ja chodzę do szkoły w Burnt Island i chodzę do klasy 6. Ja bardzo lubię tenisy. Dziękuję, pa.
Hola, mi nombre es Charlie Greenwald. Soy de la escuela primaria de Burnt Island. Mi pasatiempo es el fútbol, ir a BPS.
Hola, mi nombre es Robin. Soy de Burnt Island y estoy en primaria 6. Estoy interesado en pasteles y galletas. Adiós.
Hola, ciao. Guten Tag. Bonjour.
We
are Moffat Academy.
Hi, my name is India. Bonjour, je m'appelle Orla.
Hola, me llamo Nell.
Hello, my name is Ayla. Ciao, il mio nome è Anna. We are the Melrose Primary School Euroquiz team, and we will be representing the Scottish Borders at the 2021 Euroquiz Finals.
Hello, we're the Deafneck Primary School Euroquiz team.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Callum.
Hallo, ich heiße Pritha.
Hola, mi nombre es Dougie.
Ciao, mi chiamo Arion.
We can't wait to see you at the Euroquiz Finals.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Anna.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Justin. Bonjour, je m'appelle Ewan. Bonjour, je m'appelle Harry.
Nous sommes l'équipe de Euroquiz. Conway! Bonne chance aux autres.
Hola, soy Poppy y tengo 11 años. Vivo en Rosario y voy a la escuela primaria Burkhead.
Ciao, mi chiamo Ruth, ho 10 anni. Vado alla scuola elementare di Burkhead e vivo a Rosario.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Ailey. J'ai 10 ans. J'habite à Burkhead. Je vais une première de Burkhead.
Hallo, mein Name ist Charlotte. Ich bin 10 Jahre alt. Ich lebe in Burkhead und gehe zur Burkhead Grundschule.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Daniel.
Guten Morgen, ich heiße Malaki.
Dzień dobry, nazywam się Lena.
Hola, me llamo Eli.
And we are Team St. John's.
Hola, es nombre es Anna. Hello, my name is Anna.
Hello, ich heiße Conway. Hello, my name is Conway.
Bonjour, je m'appelle B. Hello, my name is B.
Zastri Kasem se Finlay. Hello, my name is Finlay.
Hola, mi nome Eric. Hello, my name is Eric.
And we are the St. Joseph Euroquiz Team 2021! Yay!
Salut, je m'appelle Ayla.
Cześć, mój imię jest Janek.
Hi, ik ben Lewis.
Ni hao, ngo hai, Logan.
We are the team from Cradle Hall Primary School, representing Highland.
Hallo, guten Tag, ich bin Ryan.
Hey, nimeni on Darwin.
Hola, mi nombre es Emmy. Tada, mi nuimi on Brood.
We're from Hermitage Primary in Rhode Island Buttes.
Hola a todos.
Me llamo Jacob. Me llamo Matthew.
Me llamo Luke. Me llamo Grace.
Buenas noches a todos. Go to Days!
Guten Tag, Ahaiza Daniel.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Emma.
Ciao, mi chiamo Sophie.
Hola, yo llamo Bethany. Привет, меня зовут Lucy.
And we're from Rosemount Primary.
Hello, I'm Philip now.
Guten Tag, ich heiße Joe.
Salut, je m'appelle Frederick.
Hola, mi nombre es Dina. Ciao, mi chiamo Ayla. We are Whiteness Primary School.
Representing
Shetland.
Mi nombre es Jamie. Hallo, ich heiße Jerry. Bonjour, je m'appelle Jacques.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Андрей.
Ich heiße Jack.
Me llamo Abby.
Je m'appelle Layla.
Hola, me llamo Oliver.
We're the team from Long Hall, representing Dundee.
Hi, we're from George Watson's College, and we're representing everyone at the Euroquiz final.
Bok, Zorum Zelda.
Hi, Drenger si Erica.
Chef, everyone si Christian.
Hello, my name is Annabel Ewing, and as the Deputy Presiding Officer of the Scottish Parliament, I would like to extend a very warm welcome indeed to all of you in the 2021 Euroquiz final. I'm proud that the Scottish Parliament has been able to host this event for many years, but of course this year, because of COVID, we have to do the quiz final online. In normal circumstances, I would of course be welcoming you to the fantastic debating chamber of our Scottish Parliament, and I would also have the opportunity to admire all your mascots, but I do hope that even though the quiz final will be online, you will still have your mascots there ready to support you in your endeavours. Meeting virtually has quickly become our new normal, and I commend the Scottish European Educational Trust and their partners for embracing the technology that has ensured that the 2021 competition can indeed go ahead. A special mention should also go out to all pupils who have participated in the competition. You have all adapted so well to what has been a very difficult and challenging year. And to our finalists participating today, can I say a big well done. With pupils from across Scotland taking part in these heats, getting to this point is a remarkable achievement in itself. So from our debating chamber here at Holyrood to those of you watching remotely the length and breadth of Scotland, I do hope that you enjoy today's event, and I wish all our young finalists the very best of luck. And in concluding, I would like to invite Alex Conway, the project coordinator from the Scottish European Educational Trust, to talk to you a little bit more about how today's event will be run. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer Annabel Ewing, MSP, for that warm welcome to the Euroquiz Final 2021. My name's Alex. I'm the Projects Coordinator for the Scottish European Educational Trust, or SEAT, the organisation responsible for running Euroquiz every year. First of all, let me congratulate each and every one of you for making it to the Euroquiz Final and for getting through your regional heat. The competition was as strong as ever this year. So you've all done exceptionally well to get this far. I'll now provide you with a brief overview of how today's Euroquiz final will take place, just so that we're all totally clear on how everything's going to unfold and there's no sort of surprises for you. So today's Euroquiz final is made up of 3 rounds in which you will all participate. We'll start with round 1, Geography and History, which has 20 questions. So these will be answered in pairs within your teams, and then you will hand your answer papers to your teacher. The points will then be added up at the end to give the team score. Please remember to write your school's name at the top of each individual answer paper. We'll then move on to round 2, which is the language round, where you'll get a chance to show off your linguistic talents. This involves 15 questions for teams to answer, and during this round you may discuss your answers with your whole team. The first 10 questions are spoken language questions in German, Italian, Spanish and French, followed by 5 reading questions. So these questions have been developed in partnership with Education Scotland, SILT, Scotland's National Centre for Languages, and the Goethe Institute, and have been recorded by native speakers from coffee break languages to really give you that immersive language experience. So this will be followed by round 3, which is Understanding Europe, which focuses on culture and European affairs. This round has 20 questions, and at this stage you will again be asked to work in pairs with the person sitting next to you. Points will be added up to give the team score. After each round, we'll take you through the correct answers while the papers are being marked by your teacher. You must not make any changes to your answers at this stage. That's really, really important. Your teacher will then send the scores and answer papers to us at SEAT, and we will announce the results. The team in the lead will be crowned Euroquiz 2021 national champions. Instructions will be repeated again before we start each round if there's anything that you're not too sure of. So a big congratulations again for reaching the final stage of Euroquiz. We hope you have lots of fun participating today, and best of luck to all of you. Now, if you're ready, we'll hand over to our quizmaster Mark, who's going to take us through the questions today.
Thank you, Alex. Bonjour à tous, buenos dias a todos, buongiorno a tutti, hallo zusammen, och hej allihopa. My name's Mark, and I am delighted to be here for today's final of the 2021 Euroquiz. Now, I would like to add my congratulations to you all, because you've all done fantastically well getting to this stage, to the final of the quiz. It's my honour today to be the quizmaster. I've done lots of Euroquizzes in the past in various places, but today I'm delighted to be here for our virtual final for 2021. Now we're going to get straight on with the quiz in just a moment. I'm going to be reading out the questions. You'll see the questions on the screen, but I've also got some important information to share with you before each round. However, I think we should get straight on with round 1 now. Let's go. So round 1 is about geography and history, and it has 20 questions. So there are 20 questions for you to answer in pairs. Working with the person next to you, you need to listen to that question, and then you can discuss your answer, and one of you should write the answer on the answer sheet. Now you've got to remember not to let the other pair in your team hear what you are saying. You should have 2 answer sheets in front of you, 1 sheet per pair. Please try to spell as well as you can, but spelling will not count against you as long as the meaning is clear. You'll hear the questions and the possible answers. I will ask each question twice. The questions will also appear on the screen. If you're ready then, let's begin our first round with question number 1. Here goes. So this is the flag of which country? You can see a flag here on the screen. This is the flag of which country? Let's move on to question 2. In which Scandinavian capital would you find this statue? In which Scandinavian capital would you find this statue? Question number 3. Which material powered the Industrial Revolution in Europe around 250 years ago? Was it A, natural gas, B, oil, or C, coal? All you need to write down is A, B, or C. So, which material powered the Industrial Revolution in Europe around 250 years ago? A, natural gas, B, oil, or C, coal? Moving on to question 4. This kind of bird, it's a puffin, is specific to which type of climate? Is it A, a Nordic cold climate, B, a Mediterranean warm climate, or C, an East European temperate climate? This kind of bird, it's a puffin, is specific to which type of climate? A, Nordic cold, B, Mediterranean warm, or C, East European temperate? Let's move to question number 5. Lake Ladoga is the largest lake in Europe, and it covers an area of 17,700 square kilometres. In which country is it located? Lake Ladoga is the largest lake in Europe, and it covers an area of 17,700 square kilometres. In which country is it located? Moving on, let's do question 6. Where in Europe would you find this lizard sunbathing? Would it be A, Northern Europe, B, Central Europe, or C, Southern Europe? Where in Europe would you find this lizard sunbathing? A, Northern Europe, B, Central Europe, or C, Southern Europe? Moving on now to question 7. In which century did Vikings start to invade Britain? Was it A, the 8th century, B, the 11th century, or C, the 14th century? In which century did Vikings start to invade Britain? A, the 8th, B, the 11th, or C, the 14th? Let's move on now to question 8. At its height, the Ottoman Empire occupied most of the Balkans. Which two of the following countries are now part of the European Union? A, Romania and Serbia, B, Macedonia and Serbia, or C, Bulgaria and Greece? At its height, the Ottoman Empire occupied most of the Balkans. Which two of the following countries are now part of the European Union? A, Romania and Serbia, B, Macedonia and Serbia, or C, Bulgaria and Greece? It's now time for question 9. Lithuania has a coastline on which sea? And that map may help you there too. Lithuania has a coastline on which sea? Let's move on to question 10. Cyprus is at the crossroads of which 3 continents? Is it A, Europe, Asia and Australia, B, Europe, Asia and Africa, or C, South America, Asia and Africa? Cyprus is at the crossroads of which 3 continents? A, Europe, Asia and Australia, B, Europe, Asia and Africa, or C, South America, Asia and Africa? Okay, we're halfway through round 1. Let's continue with question 11. What is the name of this type of structure, invented by the Romans to channel water? What is the name of this type of structure, invented by the Romans to channel water? Moving on to question 12. Plitvice Lakes National Park is famous for its 16 lakes that form beautiful waterfalls and limestone cascades. In which country would you find this national park? Plitvice Lakes National Park is famous for its 16 lakes that form beautiful waterfalls and limestone cascades. In which country would you find this national park? Moving on to question 13. What is the highest mountain in the Alps mountain range? What is the highest mountain in the Alps mountain range? And question 14. What name is given to the fighters who took part in the games at the Colosseum to entertain audiences in Rome? What name is given to the fighters who took part in the games at the Colosseum to entertain audiences in Rome? Okay, let's move on to question 15. Slavs settled in many parts of Europe and became the ancestors of many Slavic-speaking nations. Can you name 3 Slavic countries? Now here you just need to write down 3 countries which are Slavic countries. Don't write any more, just 3. So Slavs settled in many parts of Europe and became the ancestors of many Slavic-speaking nations. Can you name 3 Slavic countries? Okay, let us move on to question 16. Mary Queen of Scots was born in which Scottish town? Was it A, St Andrews, B, Linlithgow, or C, Dundee? Mary Queen of Scots was born in which Scottish town? A, St Andrews, B, Linlithgow, or C, Dundee? Let's move on to question 17. Name 3 neighbouring countries of Austria. So we're just looking for the names of 3 countries here. Name 3 neighbouring countries of Austria. Moving on to question 18. In which city, in around 500 BC, was the idea of democracy or government for the people developed? In which city, in around 500 BC, was the idea of democracy or government for the people developed? Question 19. In which part of France do Celtic descendants live today? A, Corsica, B, Bordeaux, or C, Brittany? In which part of France do Celtic descendants live today? A, Corsica, B, Bordeaux, or C, Brittany? And the final question in this round, question 20. Mount Snowdon is 1,085 metres high, the same height as Table Mountain in South Africa. In which country can Snowdonia National Park be found? Mount Snowdon is 1,085 metres high, the same height as Table Mountain in South Africa. In which country can Snowdonia National Park be found? Okay, that is the end of round 1. We would now like you to hand your answer sheet to your teacher and we'll take you through the answers for this round. Now remember that you're under strict Euroquiz conditions and you cannot make any changes to your paper now. So we're going to go through the answers to round 1 together now. Let's begin then with question 1. We asked you, this is the flag of which country? And it is the flag of Hungary. Let's move on. Question number 2. In which Scandinavian capital would you find this statue? Well, it's the Little Mermaid, and that can be found in Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark. So we're looking for Copenhagen there. Question 3. Which material powered the Industrial Revolution in Europe around 250 years ago? The answer to question 3 is C, coal. Question 4. This kind of bird, the puffin, is specific to which type of climate? It is specific to a Nordic climate, A, so 4A. Question 5. Lake Ladoga is the largest lake in Europe, and Lake Ladoga is located in Russia. Question 6. Where in Europe would you find this lizard sunbathing? Well, you would that lizard sunbathing in southern Europe. C. 6C. Question 7. In which century did Vikings start to invade Britain? They started to invade Britain in the 8th century. A. Question 8. At its height, the Ottoman Empire occupied most of the Balkans, and there are 2 of the following countries which are now part of the European Union, and those 2 countries are Bulgaria and Greece. C, 8C. Continuing on, question 9. Lithuania has a coastline on the Baltic Sea. Question 10. Cyprus is at the crossroads of which 3 continents? It is, of course, Europe, Asia, and Africa. Question 11. What is the name of this type of structure invented by the Romans to channel water? This is an aqueduct. Question 12. Plitvice Lakes National Park can be found in Croatia. Question 13. What is the highest mountain in the Alps mountain range? It is Mont Blanc. Question 14. What is the name given to the fighters who took part in the games at the Colosseum? And those fighters were called gladiators. Question 15. Slavs settled in many parts of Europe and became the ancestors of many Slavic-speaking nations. Can you name 3 Slavic countries? Well, you could have had 3 from Belarus, Bulgaria, Croatia, Czechia or the Czech Republic, Poland, Russia, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia, and Ukraine. So any 3 of those. Question 16. Mary Queen of Scots was born in B. Linlithgow. Question 17. Name 3 neighbouring countries of Austria. Well, you could have had Czech Republic or Czechia, Slovakia, Hungary, Slovenia, Switzerland, or Germany. Any 3 of those. Question 18. In which city, in around 500 BC, was the idea of democracy, or government for the people, developed? And that was Athens. Question 19. In which part of France do Celtic descendants live today? They live in Brittany, Bretagne. And finally, question 20. Mount Snowdon is 1,085 metres high, and Snowdonia National Park can be found in Wales. So that is the end of round 1, and we are going to now move on to round 2. Okay, it's time for our language round. And I have to say that this is one of my favourite rounds of the Euroquiz. It gives you the chance to practice the languages that you've been learning and also to hear some new languages. Perhaps you're not used to hearing French or German or Spanish or Italian. In this round, we're going to be answering some questions, but I am going to be joined by some of my colleagues and friends. So let's see if we can bring some of these people onto the screen now. Hopefully this will work. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we've got Olivera. Hallo Olivera, wie geht's dir?
Hallo Marc, mir geht es gut. Und dir?
Ja, mir geht es sehr gut, danke. Und wo bist du heute?
Ich bin heute in Budapest,
wow.
In Ungarn.
Wow, so Olivera is our German speaker, and she said she's very well, but she also said that today she's not in Germany, but she's in Budapest. Now, I wonder if you can work out where Budapest is. It is the capital of, what's the country in German?
Ungarn.
Ungarn. So the capital of Hungary. Fantastic. It's great to have you here, Olivera. Let's see if we can bring in Francesca. Ciao Francesca, come stai?
Ciao Mark, sto bene, grazie. E tu?
Sto benissimo, grazie. E dove sei tu oggi?
Oggi sono in Italia, nella regione Piemonte.
So Francesca's in the north of Italy, in the region of Piemonte. Piemonte is a beautiful part of Italy, isn't it?
Sì, certo, è vero, Mark.
Okay, so we've got Francesca as our Italian speaker today. Let's see if we can contact Marina. Hola Marina, ¿estás allí?
Hola Mark, sí, aquí estoy. ¿Qué tal?
Yo súper bien. ¿Y tú cómo estás?
Muy, muy bien, gracias.
Y cuéntanos, ¿dónde estás hoy?
Pues estoy en Córdoba, una ciudad al sur de España.
In Córdoba. So the city of Córdoba, this is where Marina lives, and that is in the sur de España, the south of Spain. Fantastic. Pues muchas gracias, Marina. Y vamos a ver, est-ce qu'on a aussi une personne qui parle français? Voyons. Salut Suzy.
Bonjour Marc.
Comment ça va aujourd'hui?
Ça va très bien, et toi?
Super bien, merci beaucoup. Alors, je te pose la question aussi, où est-ce que tu es aujourd'hui?
Je suis à Strasbourg, en Alsace.
Oh, Strasbourg. Now, Strasbourg is one of those cities that I think you may well recognize if you've been doing your work on all three. And Susie's in the city of Strasbourg in Alsace, in the Alsace region. Okay, this is our language round, and you're going to be putting your language skills to the test. What is happening here? You're going to get 10 questions, and I'm going to ask each question individually. You're going to hear some info in German, then in Italian, then in Spanish, then in French, and that will contain the answer to each question. So you'll hear the answers twice. Each person will say those answers twice. And after the second time, you'll be given a few moments to discuss the answer with your team. Write down the answer to the question in English on your sheet, and you may make notes at any time. It's extremely important that you remain completely silent at all times while you're listening to the voices. Are we all ready? Suzy, est-ce que tu es prête?
Oui, je suis prête.
¿Estás lista, Marina?
Estoy preparada.
Francesca, sei pronta?
Sí, prontissima.
Und Olivera, bist du fertig? Bist du bereit?
Ich bin bereit, genau.
Okay, in that case, let us bring our first question onto the screen, or our first set of answers onto the screen. You're taking part, the context is that you're taking part in a Teams call with your partner school. So, first of all, where are they calling from? So let's see the possible answers. 3 answers: A, Austria, B, Australia, or C, Amsterdam. Let's have a listen to each of the responses twice, beginning with German. Over to you, Olivera.
Hallo, freut mich, dich kennenzulernen. Ich wohne in Österreich. Hallo, freut mich, dich kennenzulernen. Ich wohne in Österreich.
Okay, let's hear the same in Italian from Francesca.
Ciao, è un piacere conoscerti. Io abito in Austria. Ciao, è un piacere conoscerti. Io abito in Austria.
Okay, let's hear the same, this time in Spanish from Marina.
Buenos días. Encantado de conocerte. Vivo en Austria. Buenos días. Encantado de conocerte. Vivo en Austria.
Okay, perfect. Let's hear it one more time then in French.
Bonjour, enchanté de te rencontrer. J'habite en Autriche. Bonjour, enchanté de te rencontrer. J'habite en Autriche.
Okay, so you've heard the answer 4 times or 8 times in total. You need to decide whether it's A, Austria, B, Australia, or C, Amsterdam. Let's move on now to question number 2. Okay, so this time your partner talks about their brother. Which phrase is used to describe him? Okay, so is it A, my brother is tall, B, my brother is small, or C, my brother is slim? Let's have a look to our answers. First of all, again from Olivera in German.
Mein Bruder ist groß. Mein Bruder ist groß.
And in Italian?
Mio fratello è alto. Mio fratello è alto.
Let's hear it in Spanish now.
Mi hermano es alto. Mi hermano es alto.
And finally, let's hear this answer in French.
Mon frère est grand. Mon frère est grand.
Okay, so is your brother tall, or is the brother of your partner tall, small, or slim? A or C? Let's move on now to question number 3. The question is, which family member is coming to visit tomorrow? So is it the person's grandfather? Is it their grandmother? Or is it their mother? Once again, let's begin with German.
Meine Großmutter kommt morgen zu Besuch. Meine Großmutter kommt morgen zu Besuch.
Let's hear the Italian version.
Domani viene a trovarci la nonna. Domani viene a trovarci la nonna.
Okay, let's hear in Spanish.
Mi abuela va a venir a visitarnos mañana por la mañana. Mi abuela va a venir a visitar mañana por la mañana.
And finally in French.
Ma grand-mère vient me rendre visite demain matin. Ma grand-mère vient me rendre visite demain matin.
Excellent. Okay, so the question is, of course, who is coming to visit tomorrow? Is it A, grandfather, B, grandmother, or C, mother? Let's move on to our next question. Your partner then talks about their school. Where is it located? You have to complete this sentence. My school is in the... And then you can complete the sentence based on what you hear. Again, one of the important things here is that you're listening to all of the languages, because you might recognize something in a language that you don't necessarily know. So make sure you're listening carefully to all of the languages here. Let's begin with German as usual. Olivera.
Meine Schule ist im Stadtzentrum. Meine Schule ist im Stadtzentrum.
And Francesca?
La mia scuola si trova in centro. La mia scuola si trova in centro.
Let's hear the Spanish version.
Mi escuela está en el centro del pueblo. Mi escuela está en el centro del pueblo.
And finally, in French.
Mon école est située au centre-ville. Mon école est située au centre-ville.
So you're completing that sentence. My school is in the... And it's over to you for that. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. Your partner then talks about the favourite teacher. The teacher is from Switzerland. Is that true or false? So you're listening carefully for a country in this one. Let's begin with German.
Mein Lieblingslehrer kommt aus Schweden und spricht Schwedisch. Mein Lieblingslehrer kommt aus Schweden und spricht Schwedisch.
Okay, Francesca, let's hear the Italian version.
La mia insegnante preferita viene dalla Svezia e parla svedese. La mia insegnante preferita viene dalla Svezia e parla svedese.
Okay, let's hear the same answer, but this time in Spanish from Marina.
Mi profe favorito es de Suecia y habla sueco. Mi profe favorito es de Suecia y habla sueco.
And finally in French.
Mon professeur préféré vient de Suède et parle suédois. Mon professeur préféré vient de Suède et parle suédois.
Excellent. Okay, so the teacher is from Switzerland. Is that true or false? Simply write true or false on your sheet. Okay, let's continue on with question 6. Now, your partner then talks about their town. What could you visit there? So, what could you visit in the town? Let's begin with our German answers.
In meiner Stadt gibt es einen Park, aber keinen Supermarkt. In meiner Stadt gibt es einen Park, aber keinen Supermarkt.
Okay, let's hear the Italian answer.
Nella mia città c'è un parco, ma non c'è un supermercato. Nella mia città c'è un parco, ma non c'è un supermercato.
Let's listen to the Spanish version from Marina now.
En mi pueblo hay un parque, pero no hay supermercado. En mi pueblo hay un parque, pero no hay supermercado.
And finally to Susie for French.
Dans ma ville, il y a un parc, mais il n'y a pas de supermarché. Dans ma ville, il y a un parc, mais il n'y a pas de supermarché.
Okay, so the call continues, and in question 7, your partner then asks you a question, and what we'd like to know is, what question do they ask? So listen carefully and see if you can work out what question they are asking. Olivera, can you give us the German answer first?
Gerne. Was ist dein liebstes Hobby? Was ist dein liebstes Hobby?
Okay, Francesca, over to you for Italian.
Qual è il tuo hobby preferito? Qual è il tuo hobby preferito?
Marina?
¿Cuál es tu pasatiempo favorito? ¿Cuál es tu pasatiempo favorito?
And finally, French from Susie.
Quel est ton passe-temps favori? Quel est ton passe-temps favori?
So, what is this question they are asking? Make sure you write that down. And if we're ready, we can now move on to question number 8. Which is your partner's favourite sport? And who do they play with? So we're listening for 2 answers here, a sport and then the person with whom they play. Olivera, can we hear the German, please?
Ich spiele gern mit meiner Schwester Tennis. Wir sind sehr sportlich. Ich spiele gern mit meiner Schwester Tennis. Wir sind sehr sportlich.
Okay, Francesca?
Mi piace giocare a tennis con mia sorella. Siamo molto sportive. Mi piace giocare a tennis con mia sorella. Siamo molto sportive.
Let's hear our Spanish version.
Me gusta jugar al tenis con mi hermana. Somos muy deportistas. Me gusta jugar al tenis con mi hermana. Somos muy deportistas.
And French finally.
J'aime jouer au tennis avec ma sœur. Nous sommes très sportives. J'aime jouer au tennis avec ma sœur. Nous sommes très sportives.
Good stuff. Okay, let's continue now with question 9. You then discuss favourite foods. What do they enjoy eating? So let's hear our German answer first.
Ich mag gern Erdbeeren. Sie sind meine Lieblingsfrucht. Ich mag gern Erdbeeren. Sie sind meine Lieblingsfrucht.
Italian, please.
Amo le fragole. È la mia frutta preferita. Amo le fragole. È la mia frutta preferita.
Let's hear the Spanish version.
Me encantan las fresas. Es mi fruta favorita. Me encantan las fresas. Es mi fruta favorita.
And finally, let's hear the French version.
J'adore les fraises. C'est mon fruit préféré. J'adore les fraises. C'est mon fruit préféré.
Okay, and we're still talking about food for question 10, because we'd like to know which food do they really dislike. So once again, listening for a fruit here, but this time they don't like this fruit. Olivera, can you give us the German version, please?
Ich kann Äpfel nicht leiden. Ich kann Äpfel nicht leiden.
Okay, Italian, please, Francesca?
Non mi piacciono per niente le mele. Non mi piacciono per niente le mele.
Marina, the Spanish, please?
No me gustan nada las manzanas. No me gustan nada las manzanas.
And finally, the French version.
Je n'aime pas du tout les pommes. Je n'aime pas du tout les pommes.
Okay, so you need to write down the answer to that question. Which food do they really dislike? Now, there is another part of our language round. That's the written part, the reading text, and that's coming up in just a moment. But before we get to that, we need to say thank you and goodbye to our friends here. And I think we should do this in the different languages. So let's practice this, and we are going to say, first of all, thank you and goodbye to Susie. So thank you in French is merci, and goodbye, au revoir. So let's say thank you and goodbye to Susie. Merci et au revoir, Susie.
Merci à vous. Au revoir.
And now let's move to Spanish. We need to say thank you, which is gracias, and then adios for goodbye. So gracias y adios. Let's say that together to Marina. Gracias y adios, Marina.
Gracias a ti y hasta pronto.
Now let's go on to Italian. We need to say thank you. Grazie. Very like the Spanish. Slightly different, but similar. Grazie e arrivederci. And that's quite tricky. Let's try that again. Arrivederci. Goodbye. So, grazie e arrivederci. Let's try saying that together to Francesca. Grazie e arrivederci, Francesca.
Grazie a voi e arrivederci a tutti. Ciao.
And finally, in German, we need to say thank you, which is nice and easy. It's danke. And then goodbye, which is a little more tricky. Auf Wiedersehen. So altogether, danke und auf Wiedersehen. Let's try saying that to Olivera. Danke und auf Wiedersehen, Olivera.
Danke an euch und auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.
Great stuff. Okay, we're going to move on to the reading section of round 2. Your exchange partner has responded to your letter about the upcoming Erasmus exchange visits. Read the translations on your answer sheet in the language or languages you're learning in school and answer questions 11 to 15. You'll have a few minutes to complete this section in your teams. So we'll bring these questions onto the screen now. Good luck. Très bien, ausgezeichnet, benissimo, muy bien. That is it for round 2. That's the end of round 2, and it's now time to look at the answers. However, of course, before we do that, we'd like you to hand your answer sheet to your teacher, and then we'll go through the answers. But please remember, you're under strict Euroquiz conditions, and you cannot make any changes to your paper at this point. Okay, let's go through the answers now. Question 1, we asked, where are they calling from? And the correct answer was A, Austria. Okay, question 2, your partner talks about their brother. Which phrase is used to describe him? The correct answer is again A, my brother is tall. And let's look at question 3. Which family member is coming to visit tomorrow? The person who's coming to visit is B, grandmother. Then question 4. Your partner talks about their school. Where is it located? You had to complete this sentence. My school is in the town centre or centre of town. Okay, question 5. Your partner then talks about their favourite teacher. And we said the teacher is from Switzerland. Is that true or false? It's actually false. Your teacher or their teacher came from Sweden and speaks Swedish. Okay, question 6. Your partner then talks about their town. What could you visit there? So what they said was, in my town there is a park. They also said there's no supermarket. There's not a supermarket. But the correct answer here is a park. Question 7, your partner then asks you a question. What question do they ask? They wanted to know, what's your favourite hobby or pastime? Question 8, which is your partner's favourite sport, and who do they play it with? They play tennis with their sister. Okay, question 9, you then discuss favourite foods. What do they enjoy eating? Well, let's have a look at this. They enjoy strawberries. And question 10, which food do they really dislike? And the correct answer there is apples. Okay, so those were the listening questions. We then had a reading text, and we've got 5 questions here to tackle. So question number 11, your partner has a big family. Was that true or false? That was true. Question 12, they live, and you had to circle one of these, and the correct answer was in the countryside. Question 13, what pets do they have? They have 2 cats and 1 dog. Okay. Question 14, your partner's least favourite subject at school is art. Okay, and the final question in this round, name one thing they like to do at the weekend. And there were 2 options here. You only needed to do one, and they were cycling or reading. Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed the language round. Okay, it's time to move on to round 3. Okay, it's time for our third and final round, Understanding Europe. And once again, this round has 20 questions for you to answer in pairs, and it will cover culture and European affairs. Again, working with the person next to you, listen to each question. You can then discuss your answer, and one of you should write the answer on the answer sheet. Now, remember not to let the other pair in your team or the other teams hear what you're saying. You should have 2 answer sheets in front of you, 1 per pair. As with all previous rounds, the questions will be asked twice. Please listen carefully, and the questions will, of course, also appear on the screen. Okay, let's begin then. Round 3 with question 1. Here goes. So, which country is known for the dish moule frites? Which country is known for the dish moule frites? Let's move on to question 2. What are the national languages of Luxembourg? Are they A, Luxembourgish, German and French, B, French, Flemish and German, or C, Luxembourgish, French and Dutch? What are the national languages of Luxembourg? A, Luxembourgish, German and French, B, French, Flemish and German, or C, Luxembourgish, French and Dutch? Question number 3. Legend has it that Aphrodite, the mythical goddess of love and beauty, rose from the foam of the sea near the city of Paphos. In which country is this city found? Legend has it that Aphrodite, the mythical goddess of love and beauty, rose from the foam of the sea near the city of Paphos. In which country is this city found? Let's move on to question 4. Greenland and the Faroe Islands are part of the kingdom of which country? Greenland and the Faroe Islands are part of the kingdom of which country? Let's move on to question 5. What is the motto of the European Union? Is it A, one continent, one goal? B, united through peace, beliefs and cultures? Or C, united in diversity? What is the motto of the European Union? Is it A, one continent, one goal? B, united through peace, beliefs and cultures? Or C, united in diversity? Question 6. From which Eastern European country does this postage stamp come? From which Eastern European country does this postage stamp come? Question 7. Which modern musical instrument is a variation of a lute, a stringed instrument designed in Western Europe in the 13th century? Is it A, a guitar, B, a double bass, or C, a violin? Which modern musical instrument is a variation of a lute, a stringed instrument designed in Western Europe in the 13th century? A, a guitar, B, double bass, or C, violin? Let's move on to question 8. The English physician Edward Jenner invented which of these in 1749? A, anti-aging cream, B, vaccine, or C, fountain pen? The English physician Edward Jenner invented which of these in 1749? A, anti-aging cream, B, vaccine, or C, fountain pen? Let's move on to question 9. The United Nations COP26 conference will take place in Glasgow this year. What is the topic of the conference? A, Brexit, B, COVID-19, or C, climate change? The United Nations COP26 conference will take place in Glasgow this year. What is the topic of the conference? Is it A, Brexit, B, COVID-19, or C, climate change? Question 10. This painting of sunflowers hangs in this artist's own museum in Amsterdam. Who is the artist? This painting of sunflowers hangs in this artist's own museum in Amsterdam. But who is the artist? Okay, so we're halfway through question 11. The Goths, Visigoths and Ostrogoths, set up kingdoms in which two countries? The Goths, the Visigoths and Ostrogoths set up kingdoms in which two countries? Let's move on to question 12. What is the name of the famous building designed by Antoni Gaudí, which is still under construction today? What is the name of the famous building designed by Antoni Gaudí, which is still under construction today? Question 13. Which Gothic construction in Paris was damaged by a fire in 2019? Which Gothic construction in Paris was damaged by a fire in 2019? Question 14. Who wrote the historical adventure novel The Three Musketeers? Was it A. Alexandre Dumas, B. Georges Remy, Hergé, or C. The Brothers Grimm? Who wrote the historical adventure novel The Three Musketeers? A. Alexandre Dumas, B. Georges Remy, or C. The Brothers Grimm? Question 15. From what age can you vote in Scottish Parliament elections? From what age can you vote in Scottish Parliament elections? Okay, let's move on to question 16. Margareta Zeller, also known as Mata Hari, was best known as which of the following? A. A famous French singer, B. A German politician, or C. A Dutch dancer and alleged spy? Margareta Zeller, also known as Mata Hari, was best known as which of the following? A. A famous French singer, B. A German politician, or C. A Dutch dancer and alleged spy? Let's move on now to question 17. With which country are these images associated? With which country are these images associated? Question 18. How many different currencies would you need if you were travelling to Poland, Finland, and Lithuania? How many different currencies would you need if you were travelling to Poland, Finland, and Lithuania? Question 19. Conte, burrata, and blue murder are all types of what? Conte, burrata, and blue murder are all types of what? And time for question 20, the very last question in our quiz. Brigadier Sir Nils Olav III, Colonel-in-Chief of the Norwegian King's Guard in residence at Edinburgh Zoo, is what kind of animal? Brigadier Sir Nils Olav III, Colonel-in-Chief of the Norwegian King's Guard in residence at Edinburgh Zoo, is what kind of animal? Okay. Well done to you all. I would now like to invite the teachers for the final time to collect in the question papers, and we're now going to go through the answers for this third and final round. Here goes. So question 1, we asked, which country is known for the dish moule frite? That would be Belgium. Question 2, What are the national languages of Luxembourg? The correct answer there is A. Luxembourgish, German and French. Question 3. Legend has it that Aphrodite, the mythical goddess of love and beauty, rose from the foam of the sea near the city of Paphos. Paphos can be found in Cyprus. Greenland, question 4. Greenland and the Faroe Islands are part of the kingdom of which country? Well, they're part of the kingdom of Denmark. Question 5. What is the motto of the European Union? It is C, United in Diversity. Question 6. From which Eastern European country does this postage stamp come? Well, you may have been able to work out by looking at the left-hand side of the stamp that actually says Bulgaria in Bulgarian, Bulgaria. Okay, so that comes from Bulgaria. Let's move on to question 7. Which modern musical instrument is a variation of a lute? It is a guitar. Question 8. Edward Jenner invented a vaccine in 1749. Question 9. The United Nations COP26 conference will take place in Glasgow, and it is going to be all about climate change. Question 10. The painting of sunflowers hangs in Vincent van Gogh's own museum in Amsterdam. So Van Gogh. Question 11. The Goths set up kingdoms in Italy and Spain. Question 12. The name of the famous building designed by Antoni Gaudí is La Sagrada Familia. La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. Question 13. The Gothic construction in Paris, which was damaged by a fire in 2019, was Notre-Dame Cathedral, La Cathédrale de Notre-Dame. Question 14. Who wrote the historical novel The Three Musketeers? It was Alexandre Dumas. A. Question 15. From what age can you vote in the Scottish Parliament elections? You can vote from the age of 16. And 16, question 16, Margareta Zella, also known as Mata Hari, was actually a Dutch dancer and alleged spy in World War I. Question 17, the country with which these images are associated is Germany. Question 18, how many different currencies would you need if you were travelling to Poland, Finland and Lithuania? Well, you would need 2 different countries, the zloty and the euro. The zloty used in Poland, and then both Finland and Lithuania use the euro. Question 19. Comté, burrata and blue murder are all types of cheese. And finally, question 20. Brigadier Sir Nils Olav III, Colonel-in-Chief of the Norwegian King's Guard in residence at Edinburgh Zoo, is in fact a penguin. And that brings us to the end of our third and final round. Now, I hope that you've enjoyed taking part in today's Euroquiz final. And once again, I would like to congratulate you all for reaching this point. I think one of the most important things about taking part in something like this is all the things that you've learned will never go to waste. You'll always have all of this knowledge that you've been able to get from studying all about rivers and countries and capitals and languages and people and all these important things. You'll always remember them. And you'll never know when these might come in useful. I hope you've enjoyed this. Once again, congratulations. And I'll now hand you over to Jane.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jane, and I'm the Director of the Scottish European Educational Trust, or SEAT. It's certainly been a unique time for everyone, and first and foremost, we'd like to thank you all for your hard work and enthusiasm for Euroquiz during this challenging year. We've been so impressed with all your learning at home and in school, your success in the local authority heats, and of course your participation in the final today. In total, over 270 schools participated in this year's heats, directly involving more than 1,300 pupils, which proves just how well you've all done to get this far, You should be really proud of your achievements. We hope you've enjoyed your Euroquiz experience and your virtual visit to the Scottish Parliament this afternoon. We will be receiving all scores and answer papers from your teachers and look forward to announcing the 2021 Euroquiz champions online later this week. Please keep an eye on our website and Twitter for the announcement. Before we finish today, we'd like to thank the Scottish Parliament and Deputy Presiding Officer Annabel Ewing MSP for introducing the event and allowing us to see the debating chamber virtually. We're also extremely grateful to our digital quizmaster Mark Pendleton from Radiolingua and Coffee Break Languages for taking us through the questions today and during the heats earlier this year. We're also grateful for continued support from the Scottish Government and the Ganachie Trust towards Euroquiz in 2021. There are several other organisations and partners who provide support each year towards the preparations for Euroquiz, particularly Education Scotland, SILT and the Goethe Institute for partnering with us in preparing the language questions. We'd like to mention local heat coordinators from all local authority areas for enabling pupils across Scotland to take part in the Euroquiz project. We thank you all for your support in this continued collaborative effort. Finally, and most importantly, we'd like to thank you, the participants. We know just how much work you've put into working as a team and learning all about Europe, about languages, places, history, people, and much, much more. The really important message we'd like you to take away from today is just how much it benefits all of us as global citizens to learn about and engage with other cultures. So whether you love speaking languages, exploring geography, or learning about traditions and customs, we really encourage you to continue this learning about our neighbours across Europe and beyond. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and we look forward to announcing the results very soon. Merci et à la prochaine!
Tschüss.
Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Au revoir.
And thank you all very much indeed. Bye-bye.